curbside pickup for turbos, Tim. I'm sure you guys can guess what we're doing here at Comp Turbo today. We are picking up the new turbo. I gotta take this off. The new turbo for the WRX. We'll go over it once we get to the shop and everything, but I want to show you guys picking it up. We should wait to open it until we get to the shop, right? Yeah. But let's head to the shop and we're gonna do a big turbo on the WRX. What is up, guys, and welcome back to episode number 2 of the WRX build series. And today is probably the most exciting day of the entire build because we have finally got the WRX's new turbo and we're gonna unbox it, show it to you guys, and we'll be installing it today. We have a lot to do today, so let's go ahead and unbox this and show you guys what all we have to do. For today, we are actually going to be taking off the header, the downpipe, just tons of stuff. And if you watched the last episode, it looks like we do have a leak under or in the headers. So when we take out the headers, we decided to go ahead and get every single new gasket from Subaru just to be safe. And hopefully these new header gaskets will help seal up the headers so we don't have any more leaking. So if that doesn't happen, we will need a new set of headers, but really hoping that these new OEM gaskets fix all of that up. So we got new gaskets for everything, but let's check out the turbo. So this is a turbo from Comp Turbo. I'll leave their Instagram and the website down in the description box for you guys. But the cool thing about this turbo is it's not actually like bigger turbo per se, or actually a stock WRX. This is actually a stock WRX turbo that has been bored out and has a newer turbine on the inside. So let's go ahead and open this thing up here. They just coated this entire turbo, bored out the inlet, and they have a new turbine in there too. So this thing is gonna be really, really nice. Now, I don't know the exact dimensions of how much they actually bored out right here, but when we get the stock turbo that we currently have out, we're gonna line both of these up and see exactly the difference between this inlet versus the stock turbo inlet. So this is what we're gonna be doing today. Basically, the purpose of this is to get a faster spooling car, a little bit more power out of it. Overall, this is gonna be better spooling for the WRX. So this is gonna be awesome. I'm so stoked to actually revive the car and just get some fresh parts on there. So let's go and get started taking out all of the stock stuff that we have to pull from the car. So obviously we have to take this stock under tray out and you guys can see a little bit better, but I don't know if you guys can tell really well through the camera, but you guys can see that all of the exhaust gas escaped from the headers and actually turned into like just black all on top of the headers. Let me see if I can get my finger. Yeah, see that? Yeah. So we do have a leak in the headers. Unfortunately, oh, that's bad. Yeah, you guys can see it. Oh yeah, there it is, right there. All that exhaust gas just escaped from underneath the headers. That's pretty brutal. So we have some kind of exhaust leak from the headers. We're gonna take them out. Hopefully these gaskets fix that. So let's go ahead and get started pulling everything out. We gotta take the undershield out, we gotta take the downpipe out, and then just a couple more pieces, and hopefully everything comes out smoothly. What are the chances that this goes smoothly?
1 in 100.
Okay. We have the big guns. This was completely excessive, but thankfully for this thing, all of this, that was the easiest we've ever gotten turbo studs out before. So now we actually have to use a wrench to get out the last one, but then we'll be good. Oh, it's going, it's going. Nice. All right, we got all 4 of the turbo stud nuts out. We obviously have to take out the turbo studs because these are gonna go onto the new turbo, but we'll do that once this assembly comes out. We're gonna work on getting all of the oil lines and everything related to that off of the stock turbo because this needs to be put back on to the new turbo. And obviously we have to take off the rest of the downpipe and stuff like that in the headers, but that's all super easy. So we're gonna go ahead and start with clamping off the radiator hoses and all of that good stuff and get this thing out. we got another package. This is something from last video that we've been waiting for from I Built Race Car. So huge thank you to him. We'll go and unbox this once we get done with the turbo. Just a turbo and some headers here. So the stock turbo, and these are Fujitsubo headers too, for those of you who don't know. If you go back about 3 years, you'll find when we actually put these on in Tim's garage laying on the floor. So times are quite different now. So let's take this over by the new turbo. Let's check it out. Aftermarket turbo right here, and obviously we do have to take off, like I said, all these oil lines, the headers, the shields, and put them back onto the new turbo here. But from what I can see right here, this is definitely way more bored out. The turbo inlet here, the diameter is definitely smaller. Tim, do you have that tool that you can measure the...
I do not have a caliper, no.
We don't have a caliper, so unfortunately we can't give you guys a direct measurement, but this is definitely more bored out than the stock one. So we'll do a close-up once we actually get all this stuff off. So basically we are taking everything off of the stock turbo and putting it on the new comp turbo. We're currently taking off the headers right now. These bolts are miserable. Nuts. Basically, almost everything is off. I do have one more oil line right here, but we just got the oil sump off. It actually comes with the heat shield, so it's super easy to take off. Two 10mm bolts, and this thing will go right back on to the back of the turbo with, of course, new gasket, because we got all new gaskets, thanks to Tim. So basically, I'm just gonna go ahead and put on everything that I just took off onto the new turbo. I'll show you guys when it's done, and we'll install it. All right, so our turbo is now naked and good to go. Am I spilling? We're gonna go ahead, complete the new turbo. Let's throw it in. This is so cool. Sick, we have a new turbo for the WRX now. Everything is on, all the oil lines, the oil slump. This thing is literally good to go back into the car. Should we do besides the studs, should we do the header?
What do you mean?
Should we put the header on here right now?
Yeah, you have to.
Okay, let's do it.
You can't bolt it without it. Here, let's put these first.
All right, so before we throw in the new turbo, I wanted to give you guys a side-by-side comparison of the stock turbo versus the new comp turbo that's been bored out. As you can see, this is way, way bigger than this. And obviously the new turbine on the inside as well. Feels really nice, and I think it's gonna be a great addition to the car. So just want to give you guys a side-by-side look, and we're good to throw this thing in the car. So me and Tim are inspecting the new turbo right now, and if you guys can look inside the stock one, it's a single turbine. Now if you look inside of the new one, let me focus this, it's got a dual turbine, and it kind of looks like it's aluminum. That is so cool. This will make a huge difference in the car, so we're stoked. So we finally got a caliper to measure the difference between the comp turbo and the stock turbo. Interior of the stock turbo measured to 47mm, and the new turbo, what is it, Tim?
It's 54mm.
That is a 7mm difference. That's actually pretty big. I think we're gonna notice a big difference. We do have a dyno day on Friday, so I think it's gonna be pretty awesome. So we have the turbo back in. Now all we have to do is connect all of the lines again, put the charge pipe and the intake piping back on, and the downpipe, and we're good to start this thing up for its first test start. Also, in our little package today, we got a special delivery from I Build Race Cars, which is also the company that made the retrofit kit for the BRZ intake manifold. They actually sent us the EGR delete kit, which we need in order to run the BRZ manifold. So these are actually block off plates for your EGR since you have to take it out of the car. So instead of making our own, we got some IBR ones. These look really nice and will fit perfectly in the car. So huge thank you to IBR. If you guys are looking into doing the intake manifold for your WRX, definitely check them out. They have the entire kit ready to go for you guys, and I would definitely recommend them. So we're gonna go ahead and throw the IBR EGR deletes on, as well as we just finished up the entire turbo, connecting all the charge pipe, intake piping, headers, downpipe, everything is on and good to go. We did an oil change as well, so we gotta dump some 5W30 in the car, and we'll be ready for our first startup. Oh man, all right guys, this is the moment of truth here. We're about to do the first startup. We have completed everything. The engine bay of this car looks so good now with the BRZ intake manifold, but we just filled the car up with oil, finished everything down below. We still need to put on the under panel tray plate thing, but we wanted to go ahead and start this car up, lift it up, and check for any leaks before we button all of that up. But this is about to be first start with the upgraded turbo and the new intake manifold. It's probably gonna run a little bit weird. Like I said, we don't have a tune until Friday, so it's not gonna run perfectly, but I wanna make sure that this car starts up at least, and let's just hear it run with all the new parts on it. So tightening up the battery right now, and we're gonna get the first start going. Ready, Tim?
Yeah, let's go.
Moment of truth here.
Let the fuel pump up first.
I'm a little nervous. Look at that. What the hell? What? What is that?
Yeah, it's good to go.
We should be really good. Like, it sounds okay to drive. Obviously, it needs to be tuned and everything, but it sounds freaking sick too, dude. Oh man, I'm so stoked. All right, everything's in. The car runs great. Obviously, I'm super surprised that it runs this well with all the new stuff that we have on it. But we're gonna take this thing to Bill on Friday, and we're gonna get an E85 and a 91 tune. So we're set and ready to go. Really like how this exhaust sounds. Like, it's quiet when you need it to be, but then aggressive when in the higher RPM. So I think I like it. We'll see how it runs and how it performs on the dyno, and yeah, I'm so happy to have this car back. So we're just gonna go ahead and button up a few things and call it a day.